Good morning, everyone, for another episode of AM Daily Crypto. As always, I am Crypto Lissa, and we are getting started this morning with crypto news. Of course, if you could go and subscribe to our channel, that would be great and amazing. Because we are at 27, we're trying to get to that 100 mark by the end of the year. And of course, please do your own research before jumping into any cryptocurrency. So with that, let's get started on today's episode. Terra projects flee to Polygon following the UST Luna collapse. Written by Shainika Deka. A plethora of NFT projects, devs, and their ecosystems were left stranded in the Terra wreckage. 2 months later, almost 50 crypto projects and their coders based on the fallen network have found a new home in Polygon. The projects include P2E Metaverse, Lunaverse, the AI-generated NFT universe, Dice Stop AI, and Terra's more successful PFP collections such as Hellcats and Baby Bulls. In a tweet, Polygon Studio CEO Ryan Watt confirmed the numbers, stating that these projects have allied to move to the Polygon network. Quote, "It was so awesome to help and welcome all these wonderful developers to our thriving ecosystem. Welcome," end quote. Several competing blockchains had tried to woo developers whose work was endangered by the Terra implosion. Wyatt had also stated that Polygon will be putting capital and resources against these migrations to welcome the developers and their respective communities to the platform. The Layer 2 blockchain built on Ethereum unveiled a, quote, relatively uncapped multi-million-dollar fund, end quote, shortly thereafter. Polygon planned to finance the fund with the help of the recently raised $450 million led by Sequoia Capital India. Terra-based NFT marketplace One Planet was the first one to receive funding from Polygon. Their team, which consisted of around 30 people, has moved to the blockchain. Interestingly, One Planet has also been helping other NFT projects migration via a new initiative called ARC1. After considering key factors such as mass adoption, market opportunities, stability, and foundation level support, One Planet announced partnering with Polygon to become a dedicated marketplace for all migrating Terra NFT projects to the Polygon ecosystem. Meanwhile, another high-profile metaverse, P2E game Derby Stars, has migrated to Polygon. So it's good that many projects have gone over to Polygon. Polygon is actually one of the bigger ecosystems that I think is going to take a run for their money, especially like those that are into ETH, or like, what's the word? I haven't had my coffee this morning, it's actually sitting right here. That are priced out of Ethereum. I think a lot of people are going over to Polygon because Polygon, like the gas fees are not as bad. So I think that's worthwhile for people. Here's the second one. The crypto market crash prompts the FSB to propose global regulations. Dimitar Zanzarov. The Financial Stability Board, or FSB, say that 12 times fast, an organization created by the G20 countries that supervises the international monetary system, will reportedly propose a regulatory framework focused on digital assets. The draft bill comes as a result of the recent turmoil in the market and will have a global character. Following the last couple of months, in which the crypto space saw many collapsing projects and investors losing significant sums. The FSB plans to step up and ease the turbulence. According to a coverage by Rutgers, the organization will propose robust global rules in October that could regulate the speculative industry. I don't know if we really need regulations or not. Everything kind of does it itself, and I don't know. I don't think, like, I know we need regulation, but I don't know if they're necessarily the right people to be doing that regulation. So I don't know. Pretty interesting. Before this move, the FSB, which consists of watchdog top bankers and officials from the Group of 20 Economies, or G20, insisted that cryptocurrencies do not pose a systemic risk to investors and has only monitored the niche. The recent volatility of the market and multiple failing projects, though, have changed its approach. Quote, the failure of a market player, in addition to imposing potentially large losses on investors and threatening the market confidence arising from crystallization of conduit risk, can also quickly transmit risks to other parts of the crypto asset ecosystem, end quote. Ever since UST's crash, stablecoins have become a largely controversial topic, which is pretty interesting because I think that we're just gonna go to USDC and call it a day. I mean, I think that the dollar is gonna go in the toilet, which, don't get me wrong, the dollar's already in the toilet, but I really see us moving over to electronic systems, and this is why, because everybody has a smartphone. I've got a smartphone, and it's just something that, I mean, I never ever carry cash anymore. Very rarely do I carry cash because I have Apple Pay, and I have my debit cards at tap to pay. So it's just one of those things that I'm like, do I need cash? No, I don't. And so it's just interesting to see what we're gonna do if we do regulation. Like, are we gonna go to a stable coin? And if we are going to a stable coin, what stable coin are we gonna go to? And like, how are we going to do certain things, like if we go to Vegas, and you valet park, at your hotel, normally I give the person $5, and then when the baggage person comes, I normally give them $5. So how are we gonna tip if we move over to stable coins? Like, is everybody just gonna have a wallet and we just kind of do like a transaction? Like, how is that gonna work? Something to think about, guys. I mean, I know it's coming. It has been coming for a long time. We see it more often now than not. But what is it going to be long term? In its proposal, the FSB will focus on these crypto assets and explain how they can be used as a payment method. Quote, the FSB will report to the G20 finance ministers and central bank governors in October on regulatory and supervisory approaches to stablecoins and other crypto assets, end quote. Industry critics often claim that digital assets could take part in criminal activities. I just think it's interesting because I'm like, cash is one of the biggest money laundering schemes there is, and crypto has been around since 2018, or earlier than that, 2012, something like that. Bitcoin's been around for a long time, and it's I don't even know, like, that irritates me because it's like, cash, you do the same thing. Like, the mafia uses cash, drug dealers use cash, 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 cash. So you can't tell me that crypto does more criminal activities than cash, because it doesn't. And what I find interesting in all of this is that we don't talk about cash because you can't really trace cash. So right there, you're going to have more criminal activities because you can't trace cash. But if you use stable coins and you use crypto, you can trace where that goes to. So I don't know. I think it's a stupid argument. I've been hearing it for the last 2 years since I've been in crypto, that it can take part in criminal activities. Well, cash can too. Checks can too. So it's a stupid argument. Drug deals and terrorist financing. Again, blockchain, you can trace it all the way back to where it starts. So again, stupid argument. On that note, the FSB vowed to use its powers and promote compliance and act against violations. Earlier this year, Klaus Knott, the chairman of the organization, raised concerns that the digital asset market could negatively affect the global monetary network in the future. As such, he argued that imposing, quote, policy work on crypto assets is a priority for the FSB, end quote. Knott outlined that strict rules should be initially applied to unbacked tokens, stablecoin, and the DeFi sector. Now that one I could see because DeFi is really big, but I don't know. I just let people do what they do, and do your own research. You invest in whatever you invest in, and that is that. I wanted to show you guys my cup. I love peacocks. This is a Starbucks mug from 2015 that my sister-in-law bought me because I love peacocks, and I'm never getting rid of it because I love it so much. And that's what I drink coffee in every day. In his view, the FSB is the right entity to design regulatory framework because of its expertise and connection to governmental units from the G20 economies. Quote, thanks to its broad international and cross-sectoral membership, including the sectoral standards setter, the FSB is well placed to take a leading role in the design of a coherent framework for crypto assets, end quote. It's just a lot. I mean, yes, I understand why we need regulation, but I think that it's just one of those things that it's going to work out itself, and just let it do itself. Like, in a bear market, we're going to see what companies fail and what companies don't fail. I mean, obviously 3AC or Three Arrows Capital is failing, Celsius failing. So in a bear market, you're going to see where all of these companies are failing because of certain things. So when that happens, I mean, obviously, yes, it sucks that you're going to lose your investment, but at the same time, it's one of those things that's like, oh, you need to do your own research and fully understand what's going on. Now, what they are doing, do I think is right? No, I think it's very wrong. But at the same time, it supports itself. You're going to see who fails. And if it fails, then obviously it's no longer going to be around in the bull market. So I think it's just something that can figure out itself. I don't necessarily think we need regulation, but I understand why people want regulation. But again, if we don't want the government knowing what you're doing. Why are you pushing so hard for regulation? So it's just, it's a pull either way. And I'm just going to leave it at that. CoinFlex takes legal action to recover the missing $84 million. Shinika Deka. Crypto trading platform CoinFlex has issued a statement after admitting a, quote, lack of responsiveness in the last 2 weeks, end quote. The two co-founders, Sadhu Armugan and Mark Lam, announced commencing arbitration at Hong Kong's International Arbitration Center, HKIAC, to recover the $84 million in losses from a customer. The company claimed that the individual had a legal obligation under the agreement to pay, but refused to do so. The post does not mention the individual in question by name, but Lam had previously outed that it was a Bitcoin Cash proponent, Roger Ver. Ver, on the other hand, refuted the allegations and instead lashed out at CoinFlex, claiming that the investment platform owed him money. In the latest update, the CoinFlex co-founder stated that a judgment in the arbitration case would take up to 12 months. Still, they are optimistic about the outcome, citing the liability in this case to be a personal one, which gives the company a substantial edge. Quote, our lawyers believe that we have a very strong case and have commenced legal actions to recover debts owed to us pursuant to this agreement. His liability to pay is a personal liability, which means the individual is personally liable to pay the total amount, so our lawyers are very confident that we can enforce the award against him, end quote. CoinFlex suspended its withdrawals. I'm not surprised. Here we are, another trading platform not letting people withdraw. Again, take your stuff off the exchange. Get it in cold storage. Take your NFTs. Get them in cold storage. It's just sad. After Ver purportedly failed to pay $47 million in margin calls, currently it is in talks with creditors, investors, and others to create some temporary liquidity for its depositors and is looking to enable some withdrawals from its platform via the, quote, locked funds plan, end quote. The company is considering making available 10% of balances for withdrawals. However, there are certain limitations. Users will be able to view them on their balances as locked funds, but they won't be available for withdrawals, nor will they count as collateral. The day CoinFlex implements this plan, it will temporarily halt trading and all long and short future positions against each other. Only after verification will CoinFlex reopen for trading. Due to its uncertainty of the recovery plan, the founders stated that the company needs to raise or recover funds in USDC. For this, it will likely need to sell the locked assets, except Flex and Flex USD, into USDC. Quote, as the funds we are looking to recover are in USDC, we need to dollarize the obligation to confirm the total amount of the liabilities. This will allow us to clearly determine the exact amount of obligations or liabilities for each user, end quote. Oh, just another exchange. NFT platform Omni hit by re-entrancy exploit, lost 1.4 million in ETH. Omni, an NFT finance platform that lends out cryptocurrency in exchange for staked NFTs, fell victim to a re-entrancy exploit that led to the loss of nearly 1,300 ETH, worth 1.4 million at the time. And obviously this is a quote by PeckShield. The project in question lost the funds following a bad faith staking of NFTs from the Doodle collection. In order to carry out the attack, the perpetrator first deposited doodles as collateral for a loan of wrapped ETH, Once the loan was secured, the exploiter was able to withdraw all doodles except for one, causing a callback function that voided the debt acquired by purchasing wrapped ETH. Once these two steps were completed, the doodle remaining on the platform was no longer enough to cover the debt incurred. The position was then liquidated by the system, returning to the last of the doodles to the attacker as well. In wake of recent attacks on DeFi, recently exploited devs have often made open appeals to those behind the hack, offering to consider them as white hat event in turn for most or all of the stolen funds. In some cases, this has worked out nicely. The Optimism exploiter, for instance, returned most of the fund after asking for Vitalik Buterin's advice. The devs at Harmony recently tried the same approach but were summarily ignored as the laundering of stolen tokens commenced. In this case, the appeal never had a chance to be made, as the attacker immediately sent his newly appropriated wrapped ETH to Tornado, a mixing service that obfuscates the origin of funds. Due to this capability, it is often used by cyber criminals attempting to launder ill-begotten gains. Interesting. I've never heard of Tornado. I'm going to have to check it out. The Omni protocol, still in beta, has been shut down by devs in charge, pending audits and security patches. Furthermore, Omni devs confirmed that no customer funds were affected by the exploit, indicating that misappropriated wrapped ETH were internal testing funds. Quote, Omni is still in testing beta. No customer funds were lost, only internal testing funds were affected. We have suspended the Omni protocol until we completed the investigation and have everything reviewed again by external security and auditing firms, end quote. Unfortunately for the devs and fans of the project, it looked like Omni will have to remain in beta for a while longer than previously planned. True, not surprised. Celsius hires new legal firm to assist on restructuring. Where are we at? We are at 22 minutes, and I will read this and then we will shut this down. This is written by Felix Mullen. Cryptocurrency lender Celsius is trying to overcome the hypothermia caused by the crypto winter and position itself again as a reliable service on the market, gaining its credibility once again. And to achieve this goal, it's turning to legal experts. According to the Wall Street Journal, Celsius hired the law firm Kirkland and Ellis LLP to advise them on its restructuring process and ease the financial burden that spiraled out of control following the collapse of Terra, the depegging of Lido's STETH token, and the general slump of the crypto market. Restructuring is a court-approved plan in which a company reorganizes to pay its creditors within its means. Parcel payments, board changes, merger and acquisition processes, transfers of rights, and other solutions may be considered. Kirkland and Ellis LLP is replacing Gump, Strass, and Hauer and Feld LLP, a law firm hired by Celsius to advise them after they halted operations as a measure to avoid a liquidity crisis. Celsius's business model was based on lending cryptocurrencies and offering high interest rates to those who provided liquidity by committing their funds. A good part of its business proposition was closely linked to Lido. On this platform, users can join in ETH staking without providing the 32 ETH required to be a proper Ethereum validator. On Lido, users put up some ETH, and in return they could receive a token called STETH. Once Ethereum transitioned to proof of stake, each STETH could be redeemed 1-for-1 for ETH, as each validator on the new Ethereum blockchain receives ETH in return. Right now, it is not possible to unlock the funds staked on ETH 2.0 staking contract. Celsius had large amounts of STETH in its coffers. Still, after a panic episode and delay of the ETH 2.0 launch announcement, STETH lost its parity and began selling at a discount. So much that the gap so much was the gap that the lack of liquidity due to massive redemptions led Celsius to pause withdrawals. This in return tanked the price of its own token. And here's the official Celsius saying that they are pausing all withdrawals. From there, it has been a roller coaster ride for the company, one that ended in a restructuring process as it attempts to meet financial obligations. Celsius has started to recover, showing signs that it wants to survive the cryptocurrency winter and not suffer a fatal fate of other giants like Three Arrows Capital or Voyager Digital. Despite the losses, Celsius has begun to reduce its risk, paying off many of its debts and implementing some strategies to increase its resource management efficiency. As Crypto Potato reported earlier this month, Celsius laid off 150 employees in non-strategic areas. Other crypto businesses that have laid off their staff are Coinbase, Crypto.com, BlockFi, Huobi, and Gemini, just to cite a few examples. In addition, Celsius started paying off its debt, especially to Maker. It started by paying $120 million and made another series of payments until it cleared its debt, claiming almost 22K of wrapped Bitcoin in return. These funds were subsequently sent to FTX, which sparked rumors of a possible sell-off to pay off the rest of its debt, causing a price dump. Any kind of news dumps anything, as we can see with the market and stuff like that. Let's look at CoinGecko and see where we are today. So we are down 2.9%, total market cap at $947 billion. Bitcoin is down 0.6% on the hour. We're at 20,424. We've been really testing this 20,000 marker. It's nice that we are above, a little bit above 20,000. I would hate for it to see or to go under 20,000. Ethereum is down almost 1% on the hour to $1,140. Again, Ethereum has been testing this $1,000 mark as well. Tether $1, USDC $1, or sorry, 99 cents. BNB is 231. XRP is 32 cents. Cardano is 44. Sol is 35.05. We're down 1.3% on the hour. Dogecoin is at 6 cents. We're down 1.5% on the hour. So overall, I mean, it's not bad considering where we have been. I'm just going to leave it at that because I think that we're just going to continue to test and crab walk sideways. But again, this is just my opinion. Of course, anything can happen in any sort of way. So with that, guys, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. We are at 28 minutes, so we're just going to wrap this up beautifully at 30 minutes, maybe a little under 30 minutes. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've got 27. We would love to get to that 100 mark before the end of the year. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and be sure to follow us on Twitter. And we do have a Discord. And of course, if you like our content, please leave us a comment. We love comments. So yeah, I hope you have a great day, guys, and happy Monday.